Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Sunday Soul Reflections. I'm Kat, for those who don't know me, and this is a space where I share the discoveries on my path to be like the light on someone else's path. Because if I can shift out of 3D consciousness, so can you. Oh boy, so you're gonna need a little bit more than a London fog, my friends. Yes, this one is going to be a doozy. It's cold outside, it's windy, it's dark, so curl up and share a caca delight with me. You have no idea how happy that makes me. And I'll tell you about that later. So if this kind of thing resonates with you, hit like, subscribe, share it with a friend who might need a light, and let me know in the comments where you're at, what's going on, because I love hearing what's happening in your guys' world, because it's just validation and reinforces everything that I'm learning and seeing as well. Right? And this can be a really hard, confusing journey, and we don't need to do it alone. So let's build our community here. Oh, and then here's something really random. I know. If you have an inner being, what's their name? Do you have a name for your inner being? Share it in the comments, and I'll share mine later on. I am so curious to know. So let's take a deep breath in and out, because every breath counts. And let me share a really funny thing that happened this morning. No, seriously. You know those moments where you absolutely just adore yourself? Like, really, you crack yourself up. That was me this morning. I'm still all delighted about it. So here I am. I'm writing things down for my gratitude jar. All right, okay, I'm sorry. On to my soapbox. Gratitude jar, right? Gratitude is so life-changing, you guys. And I'm always going to be preaching about it because it literally rewires your brain and activates your prefrontal cortex. And honestly, it's like the magic key to manifesting with purpose. Right? And it's free. And it's simple. Okay, granted, it can be kind of hard in the beginning. I'm full disclosure. Yeah, okay, it's really hard in the beginning. But once you got it, and once you see it, once you have those, like a gratitude lens on, it works. All right, soapbox over. Back to it. So here I am writing out what I am grateful for. And I just kind of like get into the moment, right? And I wrote, I am so thankful for this human experience. And I just like, yeah, I am. And then my hand added, and for my meat machine. And I was like, what? Meat machine? Yep, my body, my meat machine, right? Because look at all that meat. Because honestly, I never vibed with that whole meat suit thing. Yeah, I don't know. That felt kind of icky and weird. But meat machine, that makes me laugh. And yeah, our bodies are like amazing machines. And when you think about all the electricity that goes through it, like, did you know that our brain produces a 20 watt light bulb? It can light it? I know, right? So anyway, I just sat there thinking about how awesome I am and loving myself for making myself laugh. And then, as it does, it cracked open a bigger thought, and up the rabbit hole I went. Like, who am I really? Because if I can sit here and be grateful for my meat machine, then who's the me that's grateful? Who's behind the machine or in the machine? Right? So, I got it all figured out in my head. And I am really excited for when somebody comes up to me and is like, hey, who are you? And I'll be, because I got my answer ready for this, I'll be like, oh, I'm an eternal being having a human experience. Same as you. And why I say that is because this is kind of how I made sense of everything on my little journey to my awakening and awareness. I call my inner being Grace. Yeah, Grace is my soul, my pure and my steady, okay? Now my ego, That's Catherine. So that's more of a human thing, right? And that's like my full formal name. My inner child, she's Katie. And then there's like me, Kat, right here, living my 5D self on this planet right now, in this moment. It's all me, but different layers. And so many different voices, especially when we're stuck in 3D. You got the firefighter, you got the inner critic, you got the judge, you got all these different players, right? Different drivers of the bus, depending on the different day. And I would also say different dimension and state. Anyway. So you got all this going on. But I really know, like I feel, how can I explain it? I feel like there's this cord, like energy, string, like a connection running between Grace, who's inside of me, my soul, and the bigger part of me, the energy me, the eternal, the energy vibrating me that's like still hanging out in the collective consciousness, I guess out in the universe as the collective. The part that's with my soul team, not a soul family per se, but the actual team. The ones that are with me in every life, guiding me, nudging me, reminding me who I am, standing by me, waiting patiently until I remember. I can't always explain it, but you know what? Sometimes it just feels like a knowing in my body that I just can't shake. And I'm feeling it more and more. Yeah. And that's the real wild part that's been happening lately. Because we're in a really special time right now, right? I used to feel like this awareness, this knowing all the time when I was younger. And as a teenager and even my early 20s, I knew things. I felt things. I saw things that ended up happening. And I get really excited because if I look back over, like at my tattoos over the past 30 years, they literally mark the truths that I believed in and practiced in even back then. And I kind of rediscovered them again because life happened, I guess, the human experience, the trauma, survival, stress. I was literally stuck in survival brain for so many years. I couldn't even feel my body. I was so disconnected. A victim to the conditioning and the early years programming from the early years trauma, basically like a 3D consciousness. And it's like I fell asleep to the all, to the knowing, to the know who I am. And I'd say like 25 years, maybe even 28, I forgot who I was. And I had little moments of flashes here and there, but no, I didn't know. And now though, it's like coming back, like this knowing. Like I had a conversation recently with a beautiful soul that I've known since I was like a young teen. And in that moment, I felt it again. I can only call it that knowing. That unshakable, I don't know how I know, I just know. And I thought, oh my goodness, it's back. I'm remembering who I am. And maybe that's why this full moon eclipse feels so powerful, because eclipses burn away illusions. And oh my goodness, let me tell you, my friends, I had the most quantum leap shift yesterday, but like with a perspective. Oh my goodness, I felt it. That's another video. Back to eclipses. Eclipses actually burn away illusions, right? They're gonna crack things open. They remind us of what's been waiting under the surface, and then will make us deal with it, right? So I really invite you guys, and I'm doing it myself too, to grab a pen, start your own gratitude list, write down you, write down your body, write down the little things that make you laugh at yourself, and then ask yourself, who am I? And see what comes through. Because the truth, truth is that you are an eternal being having a human experience. And this meat machine that you're driving or clinging onto is just part of the miracle. Like, I always thought miracles were like a religious thing. I know, that's a whole other video there. But life and everything's a miracle, just like that we're here, that we can do this, and that you're still on this video. Thank you for still watching. Hit subscribe. Anyway, I think that's today's soul reflection. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'm still processing. Yesterday, I really had that leap, a perspective change that happened. And it just started with like a thought in my head, just a simple kind of thought statement, and everything changed. Opened up the floodgates, and it was like all this grief came out. But I was watching it outside of it. I was not feeling it per se. Because as the grief was leaving, this light and peace and compassion and empathy kind of like took its place. It was really quite a beautiful moment. Yeah, it was nice. Sorry. So that was the end of that. I am thankful that you watched this far. These are my ramblings. This is just me figuring it out. Make sure you hit subscribe. Let's do a community, you guys, because this stuff is confusing and weird and a little scary sometimes. But not so much now where I'm at. But in the beginning. You got this, my friends. Have a great day.